Hi guys, welcome back. And this week, what we're going to talk about ankle injuries, knee injuries. We might have two people coming on to talk about, like, two kind of clients who want to discuss that. And then last thing that we're going to just talk, first thing we're actually going to talk about is um, just if you are getting ready for like a marathon or a half marathon, say like in September, October. I know we're in the middle of in the summer. Now is the time to start building up the long run. What I see so often is people, like, the pre-training needs to be taken care of. Uh, Laurie was one. So with the with the pre-training, guys, I see a lot of people when they're going to build into a marathon or into a half marathon, they're like, oh, I might have like a 12-week block or even a 16-week block. Those first few weeks can be daunting because if you're used to only doing, you got to look at like what's the first week going to be like. So say for example you're doing a 12-week block for a half marathon, and on your first week your long run is like 90 minutes. What you need to do is uh if your long run currently is if your long run currently is like 50 minutes, that needs to start being brought up by like at least 5 minutes a week. Because sometimes then people go like 60, 70, 80, 90, all the way up till they hit the like 13 miles. And same with a marathon. If you're only hitting 60 minutes, but your first long run is going to have to be like 14 miles and you're only doing less than 10 miles, well, now's the time to try bridge that gap because it doesn't stop. Like you do 14 miles, which could be like a 4 mile jump in one week. The next week you could be doing 15. Now it's only a 1 mile jump from the week before, but it's a 5 mile jump from what you were doing 2 weeks previously. So yeah, now is the time really to start looking at what the start of your program, uh, and can we start preparing the body for that, i.e., bridging the gap. So you should be anyone thinking of getting ready for a marathon in the fall or in August, or in autumn for us, you need to start building towards things now, putting the structure in place so it's not a big shock to the system once you start getting into the hard training. And then what I would say is don't get greedy too early. And what I mean by that is on your fourth week, take your down week, go back. Even if you work it out, then you're like, oh, I don't have time to go back because I want to hit I want to hit the magical like 20 miles or I want to get to 18 miles. If you're always like, I have to hit 20, but you're literally right now, you're 18 weeks out from your marathon and you only run less than 10, like, one, up that now to try get it like, close to 12 in the next couple of weeks. So maybe you do 10 this week, you do maybe 11 or 12, and then you hit, like, say you hit your 14. The following week, I would just actually drop back down to 10. Just to, even though it would take a little bit off the plan, you're better off if your long run is 18 miles, but you've done it in a like sustainable way and you're fresh. That's going to help you so much more than muscling your way to 20, but really like haven't given your body no chance of recovery. Uh Great. So that's just one thing you got to start looking at, guys, like what your goals are for into autumn or winter, and start planning backwards from that. Looking at the start of your programs and thinking, what am I going to be asked to do at the start of that program? And what can I do now to make the start of that program not feel like so severe, not feel like, holy crap, that's been like a really hard week? Because obviously, if it's week one of a program, they're going to progress that week two. They're going to progress it at least week three. So you'll be 1 month from the start before you're taking a breather just to catch back up. So if you can kind of build up a little bit now, you will really thank yourself for it. And 16 weeks, even for a marathon, it sounds like a long time, but you taking like a little bit of a down week every fourth week to respond, it's like 4 cycles. It goes like that, especially when the taper is included. Um, Someone asked, is there any difference between long, like easy running and recovery running? No, just go easy. If it's an easy run, a zone one run, just go at recovery pace. I wouldn't intentionally go slower to recover or easy. Like just there's two types of runners. There's people who have to wear their monitor. I'm one of these because I always go slow and I don't go into zone two when I should. And there's people then who have to wear the monitor because they always go into zone two and they need something to remind themselves. So if I'm going for an easy run, I never have to wear my heart rate monitor. I know I will be, there's not a chance I'll be pushing that too hard. Like, whereas I have friends who, if they're on their own, especially if they're getting a little bit bored, they'll start like increasing the pace probably. I'm listening to podcasts or whatever, so I'm like chilling, even when I'm on my own. So, but conversely, then if I'm doing like a zone one, zone two run, I need to have it just to be. I'm not comfortable with that pace. Like, I just need it. It's not a hard pace, but just to remind myself of like, oh yeah, this is the pace I should be going. So recovery run, easy run, zone run, they're all the same thing. Uh, just feeling nice and easy. You don't have to intentionally go slow for it, but you shouldn't be getting into zone two. So maybe wear your heart rate monitor for one or two of those. You'll know quite quickly if you're the kind of person who pushes, because if the heart rate's up on those, or you're kind of like, yeah, like when I go easy, this is easy. There's no like too easy on those runs. Okay, great. So Laurie and Philip have joined. Philip, do you have a do you have any questions about, it was your ankle, was it?
Yeah, I have a good few questions. I had an MRI in it there last week, and
Yeah.
it's come back with a couple of tears. So I have a 50%
On
tear in the plantar,
okay.
and I have a tear in it's the one on the side for stabilization. It's split.
On the inside, the peroneus brevis, is it? Or the
Yes,
inside?
that's it. Yeah, the peroneus
Okay.
brevis. Yeah, and it's split and in a banana-like shape.
And did you roll it or what happened?
I have no idea. I've had pain in it on and off for a good while, and I was managing it along, and I got to the stage I couldn't manage it, so I went to physio. He could find nothing, and he sent me for an MRI. That was a month ago, and I only had the MRI on Friday.
Oh, a
And
50% tear on your plantar. That is crazy.
yeah, yeah. So now there's a couple of other things there. There's a bit of a heel spur as well, but
Yeah.
that's not. This I don't think that's anything too bad. But
So have you been chatting to that physio
he's on
or
holidays. I'm waiting until next week to see him. So
yeah, because obviously you must have serious pain walking even.
at times I do have, yeah.
Like a 50% tear in your plantar is too much to go running on.
Yeah, well, I haven't ran in a month now. I've been on the bike.
Yeah, look, you're gonna have
Literally,
to,
yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have to keep doing that. I think
Mm.
uh let's guide it with someone who's there. Like if you were up with me, I think like how is it to stand on?
It's okay. I can get, pain when I'm on it for a small bit.
Yeah, like I look at like maybe even like single leg deadlift, it's just a
Yeah,
static hold on it.
yeah.
Um like we have plantar rehab. I wouldn't even start with those. So
Right, yeah,
I'll just share the videos here I
yeah.
do. Right. So we have all these plantar rehab videos. I wouldn't go there for you. What I would do is I would do like calf rehab one.
Okay.
Let me just mute that. So, like, what's in that for you? Like, just like a little bit of balance. Now, if it was getting sore on that, I'd just stop, I'd even sit
Okay,
down.
yeah.
So, just like a bit of ankle mobility, that'll just help that, like, outside
Mm,
ankle. Uh, a bit of balance if you're standing on it. Like, again, just let pain be your guide here. So,
yeah,
there's five kind of, or four at least criteria that you want.
yeah,
One that it's not like getting acutely sore. If that foot starts to be like, oh, that's like if it's burning, great. But if it's like the type of pain you normally get, you got to
yeah.
stop. Okay,
Right,
so you
okay,
just got to
yeah,
judge it off like we don't want sharp pain in there. A
yeah,
burning in the leg, muscles feeling like they're working, absolutely fine. But if it's like, no, that's the plantar pain after a while, it's just like take a bit more of a break. Um, okay,
yeah.
so
I suppose the,
then
the big one that's getting me is what's the one you said on the side? The
yeah,
Yeah,
peroneus brevis, yeah.
yeah.
So why
That's the
I'm
one. That's the
yeah,
one they're saying could be the hardest one to recover from.
yeah, but why I'm saying these is because if they're badly torn, you need to nearly let them have a time to actually like recover.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Peroneus brevis tear, it's unusual to be fair. 50%. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do any surgery or anything on that. I think it will just be like rest.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've seen. But yeah, that's what I suppose what I'm really wondering about is what I've been told is I should be in a boot for that one.
Yeah.
That I should
I,
be resting. I should be resting the foot
right.
completely for that one. That's why I suppose I was just asking. Really, as I said, I can't get the physio because he's on holidays till next week. So I'm just
Look, my stance on boots is a little bit
yeah,
right. So to take, me, I go around the houses a little bit. I had stretch reactions in my foot. Okay, like I had
yeah.
one 2 years ago, sprinted. I'm back trying to sprint now, and fingers crossed, it's all right. But we just got to look after it, right? I never got so that was a stress reaction, like a stress fracture, and
Yeah.
people would be like, "Oh, that has to be in a boot." I never got into a boot. One,
Okay.
they're awkward when you're just walking around with them. Look, this is just my opinion. Um, when I was training, which is getting a decent bit of time ago, but I do still. Nobody, even for stress fractures, especially not tears, were put in a
Yeah.
boot. Santry is brilliant, the sports clinic, but when you go up to a place and it's costing you, say, 300 quid for a consultant, and they're telling you, like, say it's like mine, it's a stress reaction, and you're walking out of the place, uh, you feel a lot better if they give you a pair of crutches and a boot. So like you could definitely go into one if you wanted. It'll protect it. It'll take pressure off. But I'm of the opinion as long as the walking isn't causing like mad difficulty or isn't like really sore, sometimes you're better off with a little bit of stress through the area
Okay.
rather than boot it up. Like, look, I would say it this way: with a tear like that, and even on the plantar, as long as you're not getting a sharp pain, having a boot or have no not having a boot is not doing any issue.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. No. That's fine. I just want. I suppose it's just a bit of a extra advice, reassurance. I was looking
Yeah,
for more so than anything. When you.
yeah. Look, some people they can boot it up. A lot of times people boot it up. So a lot of times people put the boot on just because it looks like a serious injury then, and like at least then you kind of take it more
Yeah.
serious. I had a stress reaction in my foot. Like I'd say if I went to Santry, I definitely would have got a boot.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Um, it didn't slow up my return anyway. And like as I said, I was in the running game when nobody got that for, and then all of a sudden they became really popular. So, but I think it's a little bit more mental of like, oh, everybody can see you actually have a proper injury. Now you have a proper injury, but
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that side of it doesn't bother me whether people can see it
yeah.
or not. You know what I
Look,
mean? Yeah.
like I look, what I would judge it on is that like, and it kind of comes down to this. So for a boot or for how much you're progressing, you have to remember these criteria. The first is, so if you're walking around and it's causing sharp pain, say it's causing sharp pain on the outside of that ankle, like
Yeah.
along the thing, when you're walking, like you can't walk, and then like kind of you're limping or you can't walk normally.
Mm.
That is telling you to um like get crutches or
Right. Okay.
maybe put on a boot then because now all I did was I just didn't walk that much.
Yeah. Well,
You,
I find that unless I have a lot of activity on it, I'm fine.
yeah, that's what I was like. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm out now for like 10 weeks. Um, I can walk around the shops. It's not an issue. Like, but I just can't go for like a walk with my
Yeah.
wife or I can't go like walking mad distance around town,
Yeah.
that way. And look, even if
Yeah.
I did, if it got a bit sore, I just took it handier. So, um, yeah, judge if there's sharp pain in it. That's telling you doing a bit too much. If you start to limp, and that's the same. If you're doing these exercises a slightly different way or whatever, just don't do them. But if you
Yeah.
can't stand on that, you're putting a level of tension through the muscle, but you're not moving it low. So it's only putting like a what we call an isometric force. So say this is the muscle, you're just kind of contracting it like that, but you're not changing the length. It's not like we're going
Yeah.
up or down, like irritating the tear. If we're just like putting a tension through the muscle, but not lengthening it and contracting it, it's like it's kind of the easiest way for a muscle to contract. So it's working the rest of the muscles. Uh, it's working the rest of the muscles to get stronger, but it's only working it isometrically on the ones that are torn.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it shouldn't really over push it. Then I think it's just a bridge to do. So you see, there's no like heel drops, heel raises.
yeah,
I wouldn't really be doing even like internal, external stuff. Um, we're kind of just working the other stuff till like the tear kind of calms down a little bit.
yeah.
Uh,
No, that's perfect. We can, yeah,
yeah,
look at that.
and then so like then the next morning it can be a little bit stiff, but it shouldn't be any stiffer than it is most mornings. So if you do this rehab and you wake up the next morning and say it's normally like a 3 out of 10 in kind of ache or stiffness, as long as it's not like a 5 out of 10 after doing the rehab, that's telling you that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, so we just want to no sharp pain or pain that's recognized as the like plantar pain or perineal pain, like pain
yeah,
on the outside of the ankle. No change in the way you move. That would be linked to the boot. Like if you're having to start limping around the place walking, you gotta stay off it. You want a pair of
yeah.
crutches or something just to like take less pressure off it. If the next day it's like 2 points worse, so if it was 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10, and now it's like 6 out of 10 the next morning, that's telling you you did a bit too much. Um, there shouldn't be any swelling in it, and they're generally the four. Sometimes I think there's a fifth, but I think it's only four I look for.
Yeah, well, I never had any swelling in it, so
No,
it's,
yeah, like look, 4 weeks. Yeah, you're going to be out for at least 10.
no, yeah, no, yeah, no, I resigned to that it could be
Yeah,
anything up to 4 to 6 months before I'd be really running much again. So I've kind of resigned
yeah,
to
because
that
you're just
fact.
going to
Yeah,
build. Look, but that's good if you
yeah,
can resign to that. It's a good chance to get like strong in the gym. Other thing I do is Philip is I when I had my foot thing like I look, this again, I'm a little bit controversial. It's like I don't go crazy on the cardio. Like
all
I
right,
think it's a good chance, like so I take a couple of extra rest days and I did a bit more Pilates and gym work to just get
okay,
stronger.
yeah,
And then but still do cardio, maybe like, because when you come back, you're going to be unfit anyway. Like
yeah,
being on the bike, it keeps, look, if I don't know if you gain weight, it's a decent one to keep weight off. Okay. So I do
yeah,
that up to like where if you're starting to gain weight, but if it was me, I'd be doing like once it comes, like look in our, again, I'll just go back here. Like we have loads of gym programs.
yeah,
Um, they're home gym workouts. Uh, don't do any of the power jumps, obviously, leave out the jumping
yeah,
ones, but like the other stuff, or if you can get to a gym, we have like actual gym workouts. So like John Murphy gyms are brilliant as well. So like there are a few gyms that you could do
okay, yeah,
to get like I'd go gym, Pilates, then maybe bike, rest day, and kind of
yeah, yeah,
repeat that like rotation. Just personally, like it's like,
yeah.
look, that's what I do. It's like I've gone back and I've gone really hard on
Yeah.
the bike, and I'm like, I think it
Well,
just kind of slowed it up a bit
yeah,
too
well,
much.
I've done a good bit of biking, but it hasn't been very fast because there's a few I go running with, and I kind of as they go running, I kind of go cycling with them. So
Oh, brilliant.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's 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 a bit easier. It's not real mad.
No, that's
Yeah,
that's yeah, you might need to. If I was doing that, man, I'd nearly go hard shit at the very end or something before on
yeah,
it, because that's not going to be much of a workout. Like cycling lads running is not hard.
yeah. No, no. Well, I normally I cycle about 2K to meet them, so it's normally the 2K there and the 2K back are the
Yeah,
hard
go
part,
hard.
and then
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah, and then it's great for your head. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. That's the way I do it. Sometimes you see lads and they try to get really fit on the bike when they're injured, and I'm like, there's only like just remember like when you're injured, like the goal is to recover from the injury. And sometimes people have the goal of like, oh, I'm going to get fit on like from cross training. It's like, you're not going to get race ready from cross training. And then when you're coming back anyway, you're going to have to do like a
yeah,
gradual build up. So like there's plenty of time then if you wanted to go like, say if you did an easy day when you're building up like a run walk kind of series.
yeah,
The next day, go hatchet on the bike, go start
yeah.
getting like tempo work done to get your fitness up. But yeah, at the moment I'm like I believe in like I was just even saying it to the lads, like energy is so important in terms of not like woo-woo energy. I mean like energy in your body. So like I was sick there a couple of weeks ago and yeah, like just doing the sessions was hard, but I didn't force it then. I was just like, okay, stick on these sessions. Like don't be like forcing this because like the times weren't coming or it was feeling harder. Just stuck on the heart rates. Like it was probably on paper looked easier, but I'm like, no, I'm working hard here. That's okay because I'm not feeling like super fresh doing this. And then it's just kind of clicked in the last couple of weeks where like same kind of aerobic sessions. And I'm like, oh my God, my times are way down and I'm feeling good. And I'm like, this is the way it comes. This is like, if you just kind of wait, when you have good energy, you can fly and then you can really progress. And I've progressed a lot in like 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to racing now. And it's the same with you with an injury. It's like we want to use that energy to help heal the perineal muscle and heal the plantar
Yeah.
versus working on like fitness that's not really going to go anywhere. Do you know? So doing the
Yeah.
gym kind of helps like a bit more with that like testosterone, like building muscle, which
Yeah.
even though we're not targeting the perineal and the plantar, you're just, and it's less cardio. So there's a bit more of a anabolic processes going on in the body that might help us build general like muscle. And then taking an extra rest day is just like more energy for the body to use where we want to use it versus excuse me, hopping on a bike, going crazy. But I think the way you're doing it, 2K maybe tempo, just do stuff with the lads, 2K tempo home, then do a
Yeah.
gym, then do your rehab, then do rest days. It's actually a good idea and it keeps your mind
Yeah.
going being out with the lads. I do the same.
Yeah.
I could like, because they're like good coffee mornings.
Yeah. Claire, actually,
Yeah.
so much gets out on them runs.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. Um, Anything else then like you're a bit unsure of or
No, no, no,
with
that's
it?
good. I just want a bit of reassurance, and that was all really what I was looking for. When you can't get, when you end up can't get in the physio, it's like,
Yeah, what to do or
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, look, as I said, you're not look, people might say, oh, you should get a boot. Like you're not that's not going to be a big like him seeing you in 2 weeks saying, oh, I put a boot on it now.
yeah.
That's
That's still, yeah, it's not the end of the
in
world.
my
Like,
opinion, no, it's not the end of the world.
yeah,
It's not the end of the world. Like this isn't like you got a fracture that you got to
yeah,
like set. I said I have a stress fracture, but it's
yeah,
a non-union is where it's like just there's a crack. There's like a crack in the bone. Like, so it's not like it's not moving anywhere. So it's like, I was like, look, I'll walk around my runners.
yeah,
I'm not like hauling his boot around for no reason. And I'd be the same with you. Just judge it like you don't want to be doing so much that it's getting achy. And
yeah.
look,
But
sometimes you might have that you're out and about, but just don't make it
yeah, but
don't make it a habit.
when it does get like that, I just stop and that's it. Then I just
Exactly.
rest it. Yeah,
Exactly. And that's a part of rehab on it then. Do you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like you're stressing it to a point and then you're backing off. And I think that'll help him more long term than you put on a boot for 6 to 8 weeks. Like it's getting no kind of conditioning. So look, but other people be like, I like protecting it and then we can build from there. So that's not cut and dry either way. I'm not saying that's completely right, but it's the way I do it and I never had any issue. And it's like, it is an easy one. I do think a lot of times the boots were brought in because if you're not doing anything with a person, but you put them into a boot, they feel like vindicated. They feel like, oh, no, no,
yeah,
we did a lot of this stuff.
yeah. No, no, that's perfect. Thanks for that.
Great. Okay, best of luck with that. And sorry to hear that. It's never nice to get an injury like that. So
No,
best of luck with it. And sure, look, hopefully you
yeah,
have the Pilates and stuff there to keep going.
yeah. We'll do. Yeah, thank you.
Great, Laurie. I got your question about knee pain. That it's still like you're not getting that full flexion.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it there. It's like, I look, one thing I'd say is I wouldn't overly worry about that. I had that with my left knee for a long time that I couldn't fully flex, but you can
Yeah.
run pain free.
Yeah. And in fact, at first, I was finding that it would be a little bit sore at the beginning of a run, but within 6 or 7 minutes, it would go away. And it
Yeah.
started happening on both knees. But now I've been doing the clamshell series ahead of all of my runs.
Yeah.
like right before going for the last 2.5 weeks, I guess. And so I don't get any pain at all in my knee running now. It's just the bending. You know,
Yeah.
and I was glad to find out I didn't have arthritis, but I'm still wondering what's causing this, I guess.
Yeah, that is class. It's class. Look, and sometimes people get, I wouldn't say disappointed, but they're like, oh, at least if there was a reason I'd know, like when the MRIs, but I'm like, look, you're better off with a clear reason. Sometimes it can just be like, they're like, meniscus isn't torn or anything, but things are just
This was,
irritated behind the
yeah,
kneecap. Do you know,
this
like,
is
so
just X-rays I had done. I haven't had an MRI, just X-rays.
yeah, but it's not clicking, locking, or giving way. It's a little
No.
clicky. Yeah, yeah. So look, I think what's happened, I had it before. It's like the behind the knee is probably just a little bit irritated. It's going to take a while. I was just because I was going over some of the things. It's like, okay, maybe we'll start doing some like the tibial rotations because um when you're going here, that like bottom part, if it doesn't rotate, it's harder for the kneecap to sit in. Now you can do this tibial rotation stuff as well. It can help. Um, But then I was actually just thinking about this before we came on. And then I was like, you know what? Like I had where I couldn't deep flex, like I couldn't go into that deep knee flexion um position for ages. And I can now, but like I wouldn't worry about it. Like it that will come back. If you're like if you can get it back to functioning, I can run, then functioning I can cycle without pain. Um I would stay doing your clamshells if that's like um stopping the pain, that keep going with that, or the little clamp series that we have. And uh this is the main one I would do, pushing my toe down,
Right.
yeah, squeezing the glutes, because that'll get that rotation back here. The other thing
Right.
you can get when it's nearly like the back, right? If you get pain flexing the back, the best thing to do is extend. So doing a kind of uh like a calf stretch, or a kind of like this type of stretch,
Yep.
can really help the opposite way. So if you do that one, where you like have one, I'm doing it now, where one foot is behind the other, and you just lean in, like gastroc stretch. Sorry, right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I do those kinds of stretches on a dynamic basis before every run too.
Yeah, but even like doing it after, like just doing
Afterwards,
that
yeah.
one and
Yeah.
holding, you'll feel that that'll kind of just open up the knee a little bit more. And again, even if I was doing that one, I'd kind of combine. So if you just pushed when your foot is flat, like just have a tendency, not like going super hard, just pushing the knuckle of the big toe
Right.
into the ground a little bit.
Okay.
That will really like help. Yeah, that will really help this. Even though we're doing the opposite thing. So sometimes with the body is weird. It's like when you're having a problem in one direction, really like opening it up in the opposite direction seems to help, as opposed to
Yeah,
going
yeah.
super. So we have it like if we're constantly curled at the back and the back flexion's an issue. Sometimes it's extending out,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden we can bend better. And it's the same. I find the same if my knee is starting to get like where that flexion, it's like, well, if I start opening it up, um there, like as I said, I had thought there's the alternative knee program, but like the fact that you're back to where it's like I can't deep, I can't like deep go into deep knee flexion is kind of the only issue now. I would like, let's not force that. Let's just see if that
Yeah.
stays easing out. I think you're on the right lines. I just think what's happened is the timeline you're thinking for is like way longer than you think for that.
Yeah. I mean, my physio guy, I saw him yesterday, and he's doing the laser and the, I guess, ultrasound or whatever.
Yeah.
He seems to think that it's possible that it's actually okay now. It's just gotten stiffer from not being bent very much. He thought maybe, so he's got me doing some bends. Like he has me have a towel rolled up that's maybe 2 or 3 inches around, and then behind my knee, and then just squeezing my knee back a bit, like
Look, you can do
to
you
bend it.
can do you can do that. Just do not go into any pain with that at all.
Yeah, yeah. None at all, or just not
None
a
at
lot.
all. None at all.
Okay,
And
all
me,
right.
like I'm saying to Philip, we've just had a conversation about there of like, yeah, like if you feel it burning, or if you're walking on, it's no big deal. That's right with muscle. Like this, with this, like do some gentle ones like that, no problem. Locking it out the other way, as you said, like, or bringing your toes towards your shins as it's locked out, will kind of open it up nicely. Don't be forcing this. This is like, I don't know how to say it. It's like you're on the road to recovery, and it's like, don't push this. This isn't something like deep knee flexion is not that big a deal. If you don't have it for a while, it's like it's not going to impact your life much at all.
Yeah, the only time I find, like, sometimes I'll forget because it's normally okay walking, running. Sometimes I actually forget that it's like that, and I'll be sitting on the floor, and then I'll get up quickly, and I'll get up the way I used to, which is like a cross-legged get up.
Yeah, that's
And then all of a
impressive.
sudden it's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, look, yeah. To be fair, because I was thinking when you sent me obviously both of you sent your questions, so I was thinking about like what to say on these calls. So it was great that both of you came on. And with Philip, I didn't know it was that actually that bad, like the perineal. So like I was ready. So with him, it's more like be conservative on the rehab, but I still think do that rehab, that calf phase one. Let's get to the gym. Like there's no reason why we can't be like stronger and fitter coming back, or healthier, and then being in a good place. You'd be surprised how you can kind of keep things going. And then for you, I was going down the same side of like, yeah, we'll get that rotation. We can do the alternative knee rehab program that I usually give to people when this stuff isn't like coming good. You're doing our kind of 10, but it's actually 14-minute kind of clamp series already. And then I reread it and I'm like, do you know what? Like, this is just a slight over analysis of an issue. Like, this is actually all coming right. And all that's really needed here is patience, and not like, not like overly worrying about that deep knee flexion still being irritated, because that can take a good while. That can take a couple of months to come right. Like I've had it, like I was like, I had that where I couldn't bring my leg, if I was bringing it back to like stretch I couldn't go into that like full flexion position. Yeah. Like that you said.
You can't do the quad stretch like that at all.
Yeah, that's what that's what I remember me. Like I was like, yeah, I couldn't do that for my ankle. And I used to love stretching my ankle out that way. And I was like, because my knee would get sore. And then I had to put like a towel. Even now, I'll still put like a towel between it because I just, have the memory of that. Like, even though it's fine now, but I'm like, oh, you know what? It puts a lot of pressure on the front of my knee. So I was like, yeah, all she needs to do is stay going. She's back running, basically pain free. Walking is fine. It's not irritating her. It's just if she goes into deflection. So it's like, that's the last thing to go. If it was something you really wanted, I said, going a little bit more into real extension and trying to just hold that position and just getting used to that, or working on that tibial rotations can help. But I think the actual answer here is patience. Just stay doing what you're doing. It will stay recovering. It will be, the knee is slower because the blood supply is not great. The knee, it's going to be slow, but it's like, it shouldn't in any way hamper your running. If we're a little bit higher on the saddle, it shouldn't hamper your cycling. Don't know what's going on out there. Yeah. And I think like that with the physio, I'd be a little bit worried about that. I think if we start chasing this, it's like, Jesus, to what end here? It's like,
right.
It's a bit irritated. It's different when something's irritated and it was stopping you doing the things you wanted to do. That's different because it's like, well, I want to go running, and the running is irritating. It's like, okay, well, we need to find ways to break it down. But if we have a thing that's like, it's like if I had a house and I know say it's super dusty, but I can leave the window open and it's like the dust is clear and it's just taking time. If it's just if it's like the main bedroom or someone needs it, it's like, okay, we need to tackle this. If it's like a spare bedroom, it's like, look, you can leave that window open and eventually it'll be cleared. Let's just do that, Let's not like having to go in and do loads of work here, even though it's like we're not using this.
Right. One thing I've noticed is my hips feel pretty tight. And I don't know if that's somehow like, well, combo of the clams, and I've been doing more of the faster stuff. But I'm wondering if loosening those up might help with the whole knee bending.
Definitely. Like it's not even the knee bending. Like as you said, you are doing more hip strengthening, which in just like by definition, nearly like if you're working that lot more, things will get more like stiffer. So loosening out the hips is a great idea.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Do you know the one like foot down, foot turned out, and just leaning
Yeah.
into that side? I think that'd be the nice one for you.
Yeah. I always find that kills.
Yeah, just to open it up, I think yeah, I would definitely be doing that. And then just your figure four knee like pigeon stretch, do a bit
Yep.
of on the hockey ball and then do that stretch, holding for like 2 or 3 minutes, be great. Yeah, just to open up or like you're doing a lot of glute work, so it's just making sure that you don't get super tight. And I've done like, two things happened at once. Like they got rid of this like steeplechase where we used to stretch. So I was just getting too lazy of lying on my back to do a figure four, if it was wet here in Ireland, although the weather is unbelievable at the moment. Um, and I started doing way more glute work and it was great for a while. And then I was like, oh, I'm after tightening this up a bit too much. So yeah, balancing the yin and the yang of we're strengthening it, like add in a few more stretches will really help and hip mobility.
Okay, great. And just that other little question I had was, how we sort of switched my schedule around so the rest
Yeah,
day comes earlier. That's working really well. And
brilliant.
then doing that zone 3 kind of interval every second week instead of the
Yeah,
long run. So what I've been taking is whatever they've prescribed for my long run, I've just dropped 15 minutes off of it. And then I've added these 3 times zone 3
yeah, perfect.
at 7 minutes. So I'm just wondering, should I continue doing 3 by 7? Should I do 4 by 7? Should I do 3 by 10? Like, should I
If I was
switch
going,
that
I
up or
go,
just
I go three. Look, if you're not getting bored with it, just keep it going. Especially if it's just kind of part of a long run, a modified long run.
yeah.
If you
Yeah,
were
okay.
like, you could, if you were like, look, I'm looking to get fitter, drop like 20 minutes
Yep.
off the long run, and maybe do like 4 by 6 minutes.
Okay.
And then once that got good, you could go to 4 by 7. If it's something, Laurie, that let's keep it going for a few more weeks. And what we'll do is, if you just want to remind me of that one, I saw your question there. I saw, yeah, like three, I wanted to see. If you're doing it if you're doing it as a session, normally we go 3 by 7, 4 by 6, 4 by 7
Right.
over like a series of weeks. If it's something that you're like, you know what, I want to get fitter, and like for you, that was just more, we said it's more of like an aerobic-y type thing. It wasn't
Yeah.
a session, but if you want, let's just do that for a few more weeks. Say, you could do 4 by 6 if you wanted some weeks, 3 by 7. And then if you wanted, we can just look at your program again and
Okay.
like the way we did before and be like, okay, rather than putting this into a long run, if you're like, I want to get like aerobically better with that, it's like, okay, well, let's actually put it into oh, what am I trying to say here? Let's put it into an actual session. And then there's loads. It'd be cool. I'll go through all these different aerobics because you can do 7 minutes at zone 3 like you did, 3 by 30 seconds, 7 minutes, 3 by 30 seconds hill, or you can do
Yeah.
the lumberjack, which is like a mile at zone 4. So and then 4 by a minute on, minute off, mile at zone 4. You can do the Badger cut down. These are all like Emmett Dunleavy sessions, really. He's really good,
Yeah.
where it's like 12 minutes at zone 3, 2 minutes off, 8 minutes at zone 4, 2 minutes off, 4 by 1 minute on, 1 minute off at like a little bit of a faster pace. There's loads of different
Yeah.
ones we could put in, but that would be when we're like, right, this is an actual session, and we're just warming up for it, doing this session, cooling down. We're not just putting it into a long run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like right now, my plan only has me doing one sort of session a day, which is on Tuesday. And this one, when I do it every second week, rolls around usually on a Saturday.
Yeah. No,
So
I think that was
there's enough.
better. Like, yeah, I think
Yeah.
like you only say only session a day, but you're kind of doing a lot of like your gym and your HIIT and stuff like that. So
hmm
what you class as easy is not easy, and I think that was why the new format works better.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Great, guys. That actually flew. Thanks a million for coming on. We'll leave it there. Great. Philip, Laurie, thank you. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Owen. Take care.
Bye bye.